Thank you for choosing Blade for your restoration business. In this video, we'll explore the Blade integration with Xactimate. Let's get started. Let's start by explaining how Blade and Xactimate work together so you have a better idea what to expect when you activate Xactimate integration. First, Xactimate line items are searchable and selectable within Blade when recording supplies consumed, equipment used, and work performed at the job site. Blade takes the thousands of possible Xactimate line items and heavily pre-filters and intelligently tags them. The applicable line items are presented to technicians in a clean, searchable format that makes sense in real job site conditions. Users who are completely unfamiliar with Xactimate can easily and accurately record work performed and supplies consumed each day at the job site, aided by Blade's integrated automation features. Let's dig into that in a little more detail. Blade contains Xactimate line items. Each line item is tagged and highly preconditioned, so only relevant line items are searchable and selectable within the app. So for example, the user doesn't have to remember to select a Cat 3 line item when entering work performed or building an invoice for a Cat 3 job. Instead, only Cat 3 and other relevant line items are searchable and selectable on Cat 3 jobs. In this example, this flood cut line item is only searchable and selectable within Blade on any job where the job trade is water damage, fire, or storm. And the selected visit occurred after hours. The job involved Cat 3 water, and a selected waste hauling method for the job was set to discard at the job site. Blade further simplifies data entry by using a simplified, searchable line item description. Users can also easily browse possible line items to record work performed at the job site using Blade's custom filtering system. For example, a technician can select Detach and Remove, then Appliances. The searchable list of line items in both the desktop and mobile app is then pre-filtered by those selections, helping the user select the right line item. Blade also associates related line items together, prompting users to add additional related line items as they record work performed at the job site. In this example, we've associated 4 additional line items with this vanity tear-out line item. Now let's add the vanity tear-out line item to our list of work performed for the Billy Bobbins mitigation job. Boom! Blade prompts the user to also add the associated line items, ensuring that all work performed is properly recorded and included on the invoice. Blade contains several automation features that accelerate and automate line item entry. For example, Blade's equipment log auto-adds equipment line items and line item notes together with all labor-related line items. For example, we added air movers and a DHU to the equipment log. Let's take down the equipment using the log. You can see that Blade automatically adds all applicable equipment-related line items to the list of work performed with default F9 notes. There's a lot more we could cover. Learn more about Blade's automation features in the support center. Okay, so Xactimate line items are searchable and selectable in the desktop and mobile app to record work performed at the job site. In addition, Blade can create projects in Xactimate using Blade data. That means the data entered by your technicians to record work performed at the job site is instantly transformed into an Xactimate project with a fully priced estimate. Use Blade's automation features, invoice quality checking tools, invoice line item ordering features, and tools for management reviews to get everything in the job scope just right. Then simply export all the data directly into Xactimate to instantly create a fully priced estimate with no additional duplicate data entry. Let's see this feature in action. We'll use the list of work performed we just entered for the Billy Bobbins job. Remember that we have F9 notes that were automatically added when we took down equipment using the equipment log. We can easily edit F9 notes directly under the line item. Click the Xactimate button at the top of the job panel to export the data to Xactimate. Select the Xactimate recipient in your account or outside your organization. Learn more about Xactimate IDs in the Users section of the Support Center. Okay, click the Assign button. The transfer was successful. Blade tracks key assignment data. We call the export of Xactimate data an assignment. Within a few minutes, the exported data appears in Xactimate. Let's open the newly created project in Xactimate to finalize the invoice. The project data from Blade has been used to create a fully populated project in Xactimate. The price list is automatically assigned based on the job site zip code and the date of loss. We'll open the estimate to review line items. All of our work performed line items came across with no problem, including the room name. If you select a room level in Blade, such as basement, the room level will also come across in Xactimate. Each line item retains the F9 note created in Blade. There are two separate mitigation jobs for this Billy Bobbins client. Notice that the Xactimate buttons give a quick indication of Xactimate export status. The job with the darkened color icon has been exported to Xactimate, whereas the job with the lighter colored icon has not yet been exported to Xactimate. You can export the list of work performed to Xactimate multiple times. Let's add another line to our list of work performed and make a small edit to the data and export it a second time. To export Blade data to an existing Xactimate project, remember that the Xactimate project must be marked as in progress. Okay, let's click the Update button. Xactimate does not allow auto-update of existing estimate line items. Instead, the list of work performed will be appended to the existing estimate in Xactimate. Blade keeps track of multiple uploads of estimate data by adding the date and time of each update to each room name. Once again, Xactimate notifies the recipient that new data has arrived. Let's open the updated project and review the estimate line items we just uploaded to Xactimate. Only estimate line items are updated after exporting Blade data to Xactimate multiple times. You can see here in the estimate items that Blade appended additional lines to the estimate and tagged the new room names with the date and time of export. Again, Xactimate does not allow automatic updating of estimate line items when data is transferred into Xactimate. But you can easily delete the original rooms and lines and rename the newly added rooms to suit your needs. We strongly recommend that you do this to make sure the room names in Xactimate match the room names in Blade. Okay, now we can make final edits and finalize the estimate in Xactimate. Let's take a step back and touch on something important and cool about work performed. Work performed is a record of what your crew did at the job site each day. For example, let's say a technician wears a heavy-duty suit on the first day of the job. This supply is recorded in work performed. The second day of the job, a technician wears another heavy-duty suit at the job site. The third day of the job, two technicians each wear a heavy-duty suit at the job site. Blade maintains a record of the work performed, supplies consumed, and equipment used each day of the job, so you can see and evaluate the work performed at the job site each day. When you upload Blade data to Xactimate, Blade intelligently combines these line items in each room. So, in our example, the Xactimate estimate will have a single line item for heavy-duty suit with a quantity of 4. All right, let's tackle the third important way Blade interacts with Xactimate. The fully priced Xactimate estimate, job cost data, and Xactimate PDF invoices and reports are automatically imported into Blade when the Xactimate project is marked as complete in Xactimate. Let's use our Billy Bobbins mitigation job to demo what that looks like. When you finish working in Xactimate to finalize the estimate, click Complete, then click the Inspect button. If there is missing data, enter it and continue. Click the Mark Complete button. Click Yes when prompted to resequence line numbers. Now click the Save and Exit button. After the job is marked as complete in Xactimate, Blade receives a fully priced invoice, job documents, and all relevant job cost data. And Blade marks the Xactimate assignment as complete. Let's open the newly received invoice in Blade. The fully priced invoice is now available to be auto-synchronized with QuickBooks Online. All of Blade's powerful and automated billing and collection tools can now be used to negotiate and settle the invoice with a carrier or property owner. Various types of PDF documents can be created from the invoice. Blade's payment register keeps every job on track to meet your invoice terms and key cash flow metrics. Learn more about Blade's invoice tool in the Support Center. Blade makes all job cost data available in a comprehensive and easy-to-use panel. The lower part of the panel lists all available labor, material, equipment, and tax costs for every line item in the invoice. The top part of the tool contains a grid that allows you to enter your actual costs across the 4 key cost drivers to see the profitability of every job. This information can be output to a CSV file for additional analysis. In addition to the invoice and job cost data, key PDF docs are generated and downloaded from Xactimate directly into the document repository of the job. Docs can be opened, edited, combined with other PDFs into a custom report, or emailed as needed. Okay, that's a good overview of the way Blade integrates with Xactimate to quickly turn your job scope data into an estimate and eliminate duplication and error. Blade's integration with Xactimate allows you to take advantage of Blade's wide platform to manage your entire business, Blade's automation, custom tools, and CRM features, and also get all the benefits of Xactimate without having to manually enter the same data in both systems. This is just one way Blade works to quickly turn your hard work into cash. To activate or deactivate Xactimate integration within your account, navigate to Account Settings, then select the Account tab. Toggle the slider to activate or deactivate Xactimate integration for the account. Your account will not be charged for simply activating the Xactimate integration. Your account will only be charged the transaction fee applicable to your subscription tier when you assign a job to Xactimate. In other words, the Xactimate transaction fee is charged once for each job synced with Xactimate, no matter how many times you move data back and forth between Blade and Xactimate for that job. Finally, for qualified Blade users, projects originating in XactAnalysis can be transferred directly into Blade, creating a new project within Blade. Call us to learn more about how to export projects from XactAnalysis directly into Nomad Blade. Alright, that's a good overview of Xactimate integration. Explore other training modules in the Support Center to get the most from Blade, the software that helps you maximize profit and quickly turn your hard work into cash.